Hey, welcome to Automotive Electronics. Let me turn this thing off. It's going to make a lot of noise. All right, '08 E350. I did a video on this and the file got corrupted. Long story short, SproLink got me. Fix your stuff. Anyhow, the '08 E350. This is not a cluster that you want to be trying to repair at the DIY level. All right, let me show you why. Most of these Fords, these headers here, the header pins that come through off these connectors, there's a whole lot of them that just crack on these header pins. And that's something you can do at home. As long as you have a decent skill level with the soldering iron, you can reflow these at home. All right, I did that on this one, on the previous one, and got no results. It was still glitching, it was still having issues, it was still cranky on the display, and wasn't having any luck. What the one that I finished and got corrupted came down to was these three little cluster arrays. One here, one there, and one there. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Each one of those, as you can see, I'm pointing to the component. That the tip of the pencil there, each one of those has 8 legs. And you can't bridge them, you can't do anything. So we got to be done under a microscope, and it's got to be done correctly. Not something you can probably handle doing in the garage at the house. It takes a precision soldering iron, and it takes quite a bit of skill and a microscope. So probably not going to be able to handle that one at home. If it's just these header pins, yes, not a problem. We see these Ford clusters turning loose in all kind of random ways. The solder just breaks down, and thing vibrates over the course of years. Hot, cold, vibrations, etc. And solder joints break down. There's really nothing complicated about fixing it. It's called resoldering it. It's all there is to it, usually. Occasionally we'll get a corrupted processor, probably due to something, disconnecting and the processor becoming corrupt or whatever. But most often it's just a reflow. And it's gotten to the point where every one of these boards that come in, doesn't matter if it's an E350 or F350, or if it's a Ford cluster, we're going from here to here, resolder everything, and again on the back, everything. It's easier just to do it and get it out of the way and just wrap your mind around it, and you're going to be sitting there soldering for an hour. And I just lost my other camera. Because I've been recording all day long, getting corrupt videos. Anyhow, I got this one still working. So, not something I would suggest at home. And I'm going to try to patch together what I did get on this video, and hopefully y'all can learn something. And so basically, the '08 E350, this is the other thing I needed to cover. The '08 E350 and the '08 E350 is specific. That's the Econoline van, and the box vans and etc. All right, the '08 model is specific to '08. You can't put an '06 in an '08 or '07 in an '08, and you can't put an '08 in an '06 or '07. I don't believe, although I haven't tried that. So, the '08, I don't know what they changed, but they changed something, and they're not compatible backwards or forwards like that. So anyhow, there's a little subtle difference in the boards, and I'll have to show you on this camera now. These two, you'll notice the difference in this area right here. Other than that, these things look identical. If you get them together, put this whole cluster back together, and you won't be able to tell it '06 from an '08. It's got the same plugs, same power-ups, everything's fine. Everything's exactly the same. But they did change some stuff on the board, and I think it has to do with the CAN networks and etc. Nonetheless, don't try this at home. This ain't easy. it requires holding your mouth just right. All right, let's see what I can scrounge up on videos that didn't get corrupted, and we'll carry on. Okay, one other thing that, since I'm not suggesting that you do these things at home, is I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 to 5. Feel free to call and we'll go over it, and I'll let you know. I take these things in on the mail all the time. It's not my favorite cluster to fix, so I'm a little hesitant about encouraging you to send them to me because they're not fun. But I've had pretty decent luck with them, so just give me a holler if you need some help. Okay, got this figured out off camera, but got our pogo positions in place on the front side of the board. I'll show you the differential here in a minute. Let's just go like we're reading a new file here, and we're going to hit read, and you'll see all of the information populates in this file. And I could explain all that to you. Not all of it, I know portions of this, but I could explain to you what all this is if I knew. Some of it is engine hours, some of it is security, some of it's just the VIN number, I'm sure. See if we can identify the VIN number. No, sometimes you can identify the VIN number pretty easily in these, but this one doesn't have that. So we're just going to go with the fact that this is a good file out of an 08. We're going to hit verify here. It's going to verify all the information again, and a successful read. So now we're going to come up at we're going to save as. All right, now we're going to title that 08 E350. Well, the other thing I did was I changed, let's escape out of this. So the other thing I did was I changed it to a DG256, which is just a standard read. So let's go back now that we know that our connections are good, and let's try to read this as a H128, which is what the chip type says on here. I'll try to read it as that and see if we get a good read. And we do. And you see the file is virtually the same. DG256, H128, they look exactly the same. I'll go verify this. And now we're going to come up in here and save this. What I normally do is I save it as the file name. We're going to save it as an S19 file because it's a Motorola chip, or chip, the processor. So select that. I usually put my customer's name here. Not sure he wants all that out in the wild like that. So I'll just, first name is Rob, last name starts with an A, and it is a 08 E350. It is a red as a 9, S12, H128. That's pretty much all the information. You should be able to find that file when you need to. Save it. Now I have his file and his information. If we need to send him another cluster, we've got it. All right. So let's go to number 2, overhead. All right. So that's that. We've got his information. Now the only thing that we would do, let me go ahead and switch back to this. The only thing that we would do in that, if we get another cluster or need to send him a replacement, is we'd just look up this file, we'd use the same connections, we would read the file out of the replacement cluster and save that, and then we would go back and write his file here simply by just hitting program. There's nothing hooked up right now, so we hit program and then yes, and it would go to programming the thing. It didn't program in this case because we don't have it hooked up. It takes a minute, so you got to get comfortable. The thing does not write all that fast, but it'll get the job done. Now, let's get this thing back together. First, let's clean it. I didn't change nothing. Camera 3. There we go. Cleaning up after using all this flux all over the place. Pretty simple. 99% alcohol. Get you some Q-tips, some paper towels, whatever floats your boat, and just start scrubbing that stuff off of there. The alcohol will loosen it up and let you start getting it off. Anywhere you used flux, you just want to scrub it all off of there. Get it nice and clean. Let's see, we use some over here. I love these little things. Get them on Amazon. They do a good job. Q-tips, so you leave those little, a Q-tip will leave those little hair fiber things, whatever a Q-tip's made out of. Cotton, obviously. My brain's not working anymore. We worked on this one cluster too long. Can't stand it when I have to spend this much time on clusters. Alright, so she's all cleaned up. Let's get back over here. All cleaned up and ready to go back together almost, except for we took a bunch of bulbs out. And I do believe there were some bulbs that weren't working, so let's put the bulbs back. We'll turn it on and see what is working and what is not. That one looks pretty black, so I doubt that's working. Need to get some longer leads on this power supply. So we got this bulb out, this bulb out. These bulbs are those. I can't remember what the number is on them. I have a bunch of them over here. Let's see. 4 bulbs. Got a whole drawer full. 4. Can't make that read right no matter how I hold it. 4 bulbs. Got some of them in holders and some of them not. Just need some bare bulbs right now. Pretty easy to replace when you've got the board apart like this. Something to hold your holder in place. Trying to see if there's any information I've got stored on this. These are T5 1786-206 halogen light bulb. Okay, that's what they are. You can find them on Amazon, I do believe. I put my drawer in backwards, so I'll straighten that up. Alright, yeah, you can find those on Amazon, and if nothing else, you can get them off of Mouser.com. Alright, going back together with this. This circuit board will just snap in place. Just push it back in under those clips that you released earlier, much earlier in this case. I do apologize for this video being so dang long. That's the way it goes sometimes. Oh, we done screwed up. I forgot the same thing the customer forgot. Alright, board's got to come back out for that. Clips all over the place. Alright. That sucker goes right there. Now the board goes in. Alright. And you have that power supply like I do. You can just simply set these where they go. Since we're not traveling any distance and we don't have a motor on, most things are going to be on 0. I put the gas gauge, whoa, bumped my camera there. I put the gas gauge where it's not right on the E, it's just a hair below, just in case somebody's trying to push the limits. The rest of these, there's one of these gauges that I believe, let's turn the power off for a second. One of these gauges, I think it's this one that tends to creep up. Yeah, it's like goes halfway, so we'll just get that set against a stop, pretty much where I know it goes. Yeah, that's the one that likes to power up, and it's still a little high, so just adjust it a little bit. It's not the brightest display. I've seen brighter, but it is. Whoa, we still got you on the picture-in-picture thing. See if I can get rid of that. There we go. So that display is working. Not that bright, but functional. Let's see if this thing will do the test. It does have a test function on it, so you'll be able to see the gauges sweep. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of done with its test, I think. All right. Rear panel goes back on. Try to get it on there right. These, just take a screwdriver, get that little plastic cover seated back below your clips. These Ford clusters. Damn, I keep hitting my camera. Stop shaking. What was I going to say? These Ford clusters. A little time consuming getting them apart and back together. Alright. This doesn't usually stick in there, but that's how it came in with the shift indicator stuck to the lens. I'm not going to change anything. Just going to go with it. And just like that, we're back together. Make sure all your clips are set. Clean things up a little bit here. We're all set. One final little test shot to see, make sure we still have everything that we need. It is still working. All right, everything's working. Yep, all good. So that one's done, ready to ship back to the customer. Hopefully everything goes well. And, whoa, let's see here. There you guys are. Hope you guys appreciated that for all the time we spent, but and I apologize for it taking so long to get through all that and taking so long to get through this video, but maybe it'll help you out. If it does, easy for me to say. If it does, like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time, patience, and everything with this one. And I'll see you on the next one. Oh, got to turn it off down here.